Hi everyone. So this video is for the teachers who teach a class more than once. So I teach fifth grade math 3 times a day. We have the same content, same lessons, everything. So this video is going to teach you how to merge your classes into one class page. That way you only have to post your assignments, your instruction materials, all of it only one time. So if that applies to you, continue to watch. If not, you can move on to the next video. So first things first, you sign in. You're at your dashboard. It really doesn't matter what class you're in. And you're going to go down here to where it says quick links. You're going to click on it. And then you're going to click my classes. From here, you're going to go ahead and hit new class right here, this blue button with a plus sign. And this is going to be your new class. So for mine, I had titled it originally fifth grade math class. That way it applied to all 3 of the math classes that I teach. Yours is going to be up to you. Maybe you teach all of the writing for your grade. So yours is going to be titled fifth grade writing or sixth grade writing, whatever it might be. In this case, I'm just going to go with PD 2020 because I'm just going to delete this when I'm done. Class code, that's up to you. The high school teachers, you might have something that you guys use for scheduling. Elementary doesn't. So you can choose to put like ALG 1 for Algebra 1, whatever it might be. So for me, I'm just going to put PD 2020 again. Your URL now here, so it's going to use whatever you put in for your class name. So you can see here's the link that people can access your class page at, and here is the title of your class after it. I do believe you can change that without changing the class name, yeah. So maybe you want it to be a little bit different, maybe you want it to be shorter. That's up to you. Really doesn't matter, but you can change that. Down here, you want to make sure that your school is selected. You can write a summary of your class page, what it's for, what it's designed for, what might be included. Up to you. Honestly, you don't really need it. Now, settings. This says allow user nicknames. That doesn't bother me. The kids are registered using their full first name, last name, so this didn't really have any difference for me. That's up to you. Don't send notifications about updates to page content. So you can click this. This is what's this, and it will kind of explain it to you. But basically, say I go in on Monday night, I add a couple assignments, I add a YouTube video. Usually late that night, I get an email, and it gives me a rundown on what was updated on the page. If you're the only teacher using this class page, you really don't need those updates. They're silly because you obviously know what you did to the page. But there is the possibility that you can share this page maybe with your learning support teacher. Maybe you share it with the other teachers that are on your grade level team, whatever it might be. If that's the case and they can make changes, you might want it to know if someone added something to the page or not. Totally up to you. Just kind of is going to depend on what you're doing with it. For this, I'm just going to say don't. And then it says list this class under the extras section on the portal. So class pages can actually be used for clubs and organizations as well. And that's what this is for, because it's not, say I was the head of Key Club. I would hit this for list as extras because it's not an actual academic class, it's an extra class, or I should say group. So that could be a possibility too for those of you who oversee any of the clubs or different organizations, something that you can use as a tool there in place of Google Classroom as well. I'm not going to hit that for now. And then next year we'll actually have drop down because we'll have more than 1 year under our belt. But right now it's obviously just 2019 right now. So we can go ahead and hit next from this point. And it says the class schedule defines start and end dates for terms and grading periods in this class. There is no class schedule defined for Cambridge Elementary. The high school might be a little bit different. I'm not sure on that one. If you need any help with that or have any questions, let me know and I can find an answer for sure. But so for my case and any elementary, most likely, you're just going to hit finish. And it brings you to your class page. So this looks just like the one we edited in the first video that I talked about editing the title. So you would just double click here, change your title, hit save. So this leads us up to where we were in the other video. However, what you're waiting for is, okay, how do I merge my students? So this is the tricky part. You're going to go to Manage Class, Edit Roster. And don't forget, if I'm going too fast at any point, you can always pause and try it out and then come back to the video. So from here, you're going to see a couple different options. You can add students individually. So if you were actually creating this for a group that you oversee, you could just add individual students, and that's fine. You could hit add student, add whoever you want. All you have to do is hit search student. But in this case, I'm trying to teach you how to merge classrooms. So for example, my 3 math classes, I want to merge them into one. So I hit create sections, hit OK. Now you can see there's already 2 sections created for you. So I'm in section A, and I'm going to go to the button that says import students. From here, I can search for a class. So year, again, is going to still be 2019. You can keep it all, doesn't matter. So for example, I'm going to add one of my other teammates' classes. Hit search. And here are some of the classes that come up. So Nesbitt Math. So this would have been one of my math classes that I taught. You can see that even has me listed as a teacher. And then I'm going to hit import. What it's going to do next, it's going to ask you 2 questions. It says, link Nesbitt. Whenever the roster for Nesbitt Math is updated, section A will also be updated. So this is super important, especially if you're using it for class purposes, that you keep this selected, because we know that we have students that leave, we know that we have students that join, and this will allow your roster to be automatically updated versus having to go back in and try to add another student. If you were to select this one, it's only going to take your current roster and will not update if someone leaves or comes in. So make sure that you hit link to whatever class you're adding, hit continue. You can go over the class list, make sure everyone's there that you're looking for, and hit import students. Now, what's nice about these pages is no one can see these pages, and you can even see right here, it says this class will not be visible to your students or parents until you make it active. So as we're going through this course, don't worry about what you're putting there because no one can see it unless you make it active. Okay, so that's section A right here. It shows you section A. Here are the students that are listed. You also see this little link icon that's telling you that it's linked to that class. And everyone's there. You can manage these students. Like maybe someone came up that actually moved. You can go ahead and remove them. You can actually send them email messages right from here as well. You can view their data or their, what's it called? Can't think of the word, but you can view like their phone numbers and all that information there. So I actually have 3 math classes, so I'm going to keep adding. So what you'll do is then you'll come back up here to manage sections, and it puts you back to that screen again. So there's section B still available, so I'm going to hit section B, import students. This time I'm going to add Mrs. Jardina's math class, her homeroom, right here, import, make sure it's linked. So you're just going to be repeating those steps, and I'll write them down so you have them to follow. Checking over students. Import students. Here's section B, and I can also look and go right back to section A if I wanted. And I have one more class to add, so back up to manage sections. This time, I don't have any more sections here, so I have to hit add section. It's labeled C. You could call this period 1, period 4, period 6, whatever it might be. In my case, I don't have, it doesn't really matter, so I just left them A, B, and C. Import students. Right here, so I'm going to add my own kids. Dean, math, import. Make sure they're linked. Continue. Check over my names. Import students. Here they are. So here I can make sure I have sections A, B, and C. Again, if you're in the high school, you might want to schedule it like period 1, 2, 3, whatever it might be. That way they're clearly organized for your use. Once I'm done, I can just hit close. And I'm ready to work on my page. This does link directly to their gradebook. So don't worry like, oh no, I put them all in one section. Now it's not gonna go to their gradebooks for the classes I have listed here. No, it does. We actually just merged them together. So anything that we grade in PowerSchool will go into each one of your individual classes, into their gradebooks, show up on the report cards, all that good stuff. So no worries there. Stay tuned for the next video as we move forward with class pages. Thanks, guys.